The operator of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant says it failed to connect an emergency power supply to a device that sends information on the reactors to the Nuclear Safety Agency. The device failed to send real-time data because it wasn't connected to a backup power supply after the March 11th earthquake and tsunami. The equipment provides reactor temperatures and other information to the Emergency Response Support System, or ERSS. The lack of real-time data may have affected the government's immediate response to the disaster. TEPCO says it planned to connect the device to an emergency power source in November 2010, 4 months before the March 11th disaster. The utility says it didn't complete the procedure because a cable was too short. TEPCO says it discussed a date for connecting the device with the Nuclear and Industrial Safety Agency, but TEPCO says it didn't think connecting the device to the emergency power supply was an urgent task.
The first camera to be inserted into one of the crippled Fukushima nuclear reactors yielded disappointment on Thursday, with visibility marred by steam and radiation. Plant operator TEPCO used an industrial endoscope to peer inside the number 2 reactor where nuclear fuel has melted down. The radiation-resistant endoscope was inserted about 2 meters into the reactor vessel to shoot images in various directions. It shot 7 pictures inside the containment structure. Although some images showed internal plumbing, they were unclear. Many white spots obscure the pictures, apparently caused by the effects of radiation or steam from the radioactive water. The camera failed to register the surface of the contaminated cooling pool or any other details of the reactor's inner structure.
As far as we can tell from these pictures, there doesn't seem to be any major damage. But I expected to see how the water is flowing inside the reactor, which could help our research. But nothing is clear.
TEPCO needs to grasp the condition inside the reactor as it prepares for decommissioning them. The company says it will consider using other monitoring devices to get a better view.
Japan's nuclear crisis minister Goshi Hosono says a 40-year operating limit is the basic policy for the lifespans of reactors, and he says extensions are unlikely. He was responding to criticism that the government might allow extensions of 20 years. Hosono clarified the stance at a news conference in Washington. He said the application of new safety standards will make it difficult for the government to permit extensions.
It would be extremely hard for reactors to operate over 40 years. There's no change in our stance that 40 years is the maximum operating limit.
Hosono admitted responsibility for the confusion. He promised to make his explanations clear. Local government officials near the sites of nuclear plants criticized the plan to extend operating limits. Scientists, too, complained about the proposal.